when Lauren and I get together, we like to talk about marketing and systems, and a lot of times it's two different conversations. But Erik Henning did a really good job in this conversation, bringing the two together and talking about how his systems allow him to market and offer great service to his clients. And if you're interested in learning how you can be a better marketer and operate your business on systems to help you scale, check out this conversation with Erik Henning. If somebody's tuning in, they didn't see the first two, great conversation, learn about Erik, and then about the mindset of solving problems. Now, in this segment, it's one of my favorite segments, and we're going to combine it with Lauren's and talk about systems and operating, but also how you market. Because I know that the system that you operate within also has a marketing function to that. And so, you are Erik Henning, Keller Williams real estate agent, and happen to be on a group team at the W Group, right? And sure, it's an expansion group, and it's a great group, that the number one group for several years in a row.
That's right.
I got to not only go to the Keller Williams region, the market awards banquet where several of the people on the team got awards, but also went to y'all's team awards banquet and got to see all y'all, the team across the different markets get awards and see how y'all are all working together. And it's a great group, right? The culture is great. Everybody's having a good time. And I know that Trey has a lot of systems in which y'all operate.
Yeah.
And so from a baseline standpoint, like, what does the system mean to you, and how does it help you operate as a better agent?
Consistency in the storm.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
You have to have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
I before meeting Trey, like I said, I actually would teach big rooms of young sales professionals. I love teaching. Again, why I got into real estate. You're not really selling, you're just teaching. Yeah. That's a side point.
Yeah.
And being a therapist.
Yeah, and being a therapist. But it's people, right? It's not products. But yeah, you have to have systems for yourself, daily routines, things that are non-negotiables, right? Because life is going to happen. It is inherently unpredictable. So,
life be lifing.
Right.
Yesterday.
It sure does, right? So, you need to have something to fall back on, something to hold on to, right? I used to equate having systems to, have you ever been on like the trains in the airports that bring you really, right? And what do they have hanging up everywhere? Right? They have the handles, right?
It's a shit bar.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
They have those there because these trains speed up and stop extremely quickly, right? Just like life does, and it throws people around, and you have to have something to hold on to. And that's just what I always equated it to. So having consistency and things that are non-negotiables that can take care of the controllables, right? Like Trey always says, control the controllables. So, right, you have things that you can do that are going to make sure that you feel good every day, right? Like before I came here, I didn't have time to work out, but I still went in the steam room, sauna, cold plunge. Right? You have things that you have to do every day. So you can control your baseline, how you feel. Like what you eat is really, really important. And then on the real estate side, one thing that I've learned a lot there and that they've done a really good job of building is you have to have daily activities, right? I'm always going to check all my emails, follow up with current clients, check the status of every current deal I have, check the status of all the people that I'm working with. And you're going to do that weekly, daily. You have a ton of opportunities. We have, it's called the pool, right? And so this is just opportunities that have come in. Maybe they weren't high intent. Maybe they fell off, whatever. But you can always go in. There's like thousands of people that you can call, right? And so if you're having a slow week, you always have something to fall back on.
Nice.
I can turn this around in potentially 30 minutes, right? Yeah. Call people. You already have a report. Hey, you chatted with us. This is like the last thing that we talked about. Haven't heard from you in a while. How's it going? Did y'all figure it out, right? And then having your accountability, right? So we have meetings every Wednesday, and the first thing we do in every meeting is like, what are your numbers? Mm-hmm. And it's not how many deals did you close, right? Like it's that
the activity, not the result.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. The lag factors, right? You have leading and lagging factors, right? People are obsessed with the lagging factors, right? Those are what come after. That's on the other side of the equal sign, right? When you get the big win, when you make the money, when you win the award, right? Everybody wants that. That's not the important thing. The leading factors,
put
right?
In the work.
So what do I put in? What's in my formula to get the desired output? And so we do a really good job of like, hey, all right, how many appointments did you take on? Did you answer the phone when leads came in? Yeah. How many people in your personal sphere have you reached out to? How many deals do you have going from each portion of your business that you said you wanted to have, right? Trey does a good job of goal setting. We had like a business planning meeting at the end of every year for the following year. And he's always asking, hey, and I like this. He asks, how can I keep you accountable?
Yeah.
Right?
It's different for everybody.
I used to manage sales teams and I was younger, and I'll just be honest, I don't think I did a good job. There were some people who came out of there and did really well.
I've been there too, buddy. So it's okay.
It's like, because it was, again, I feel like I've said this a million times, but you have to take yourself out of it, right? It's like, here's what I think, what I want to do, and I'm good at this, and I have a track record, so you listen to me. It's like teachers who just think, well, sit down and shut up because that's the way that I think you should do it. It's like, no, you have to meet people where they are. Trey does a great job of that, and so that being part of our system is, you have goals, you have weekly check-ins. You can call him anytime you want. He will call you back. He's a busy dude, but he'll always call you back that same day. If he can't, he'll text you, what can I do for you? Having goals, having check-ins, and having him requests to build an accountability system that works for you.
Yeah.
I think is really, really cool.
I mean, the amount of care and love that shows as a leader.
Right.
People are always afraid of accountability, but to me, it's just like that showing that they actually care what the end result for your life is going to be.
Yeah.
I've learned that from two high-level team leaders at Keller Williams, where both of them have mentioned in the past they would give goals to somebody and say, "This is your goal," and then after years of doing that, they realize that like I can't tell them what their goals are. They have to tell me what their goals are. I have to create the space for them to accomplish their goal that they've set for themselves. Now, if their goals don't allow me to help me get to where I'm going, then really there's no point in them being in the system of the world that I'm living in or spending my resources to help them get there. So maybe it's not fit for the team. But if your goals contribute to where I'm going, let me help you accomplish your goals, help you get where I'm going.
Right.
And Trey and Lewis Williams both have made that comment to me over the last couple of years, and it resonated because I love having these conversations because I hear things that people have learned as leaders and business owners that I haven't maybe gone through, or it helped me realize that I have done that in the past and helped me shift my mindset to helping the people that I'm currently leading.
You're rarely going to get the buy-in when you hand something to someone.
Right.
But if they're part of that process, then you'll have them for the long term.
Yeah.
Keeping them a part of the process, right? And that actually goes back to a really big point in like sales psychology, right? I can't walk up to you and say, you need this.
Yep.
But I can ask you some questions and maybe learn a little bit about things that you're missing and things you need, and maybe the thing I was selling, right? Or the idea that I was selling, right? Like management. Maybe that will fit.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you questions. You have to come up with the answer on your own. And that's two things. One, that really is just the only way you can know that what you're offering is actually necessary. But two, it's the only way you're going to get real buy-in, right? People don't like being told what to do. Like, I swear I could tell my niece, right? She's like 9 or 10. I could say, you want ice cream. And that little girl would probably say, I don't want ice cream. That's stupid. Ice cream's stupid. Right? But I'd be like, hey, you want like, I don't know, do you want like something like a dessert?
A treat?
Like, would that be good? It's kind of hot. I don't know. Like, what kind of dessert would you want? And if she came to ice cream on her own, again, there's no way I'm getting in the way of that, right? Like, we are now getting ice cream. And that is, it's so funny, and I like to equate that to a child because humans are humans. And so I think it's really important, like, to know how to lead somebody towards what's best for them, right? And I think removing yourself, learning about them, and finding out what they need, and if what you
Forcing them
offer
to
gets you
learn
there.
them.
Right.
That is what you're doing. I mean, that's just, as humans, I say this often, you don't want to see yourself accurately.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to spend the time. It's so much easier to be like, that's the reason. And you could be the victim all day, every day. And that's what you see all these adults that have so much potential walking around doing. And then when you force them to see themselves and spend time knowing themselves, that's when you start seeing their growth.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying, like, from a sales perspective, I love your number one, like, for you to truly know if that's what your client needs. And we approach somebody when I'm saying, I can help you put an operating system in place. They don't know what that means. They know they have trouble in business. So we start the meeting with, tell me all the problems that you have. And as we go through the problems, I'm like, well, generally this can help with that. How does that sound to you? Generally this can help with that. How does that sound to you? At the end of the day, they're like, I want all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, give it all to me because it's going to solve my problems.
Yeah.
Right? But they have to come to that realization on their own.
Absolutely.
It's like sell me this pen. It's the Wolf of Wall Street guy who's
Yeah.
like, sell me this pen, and then he starts asking you like, well, how long you been in the market for a pen? Like, what kind of pen did you like in the past? And he's asking all the questions to help him gather all the data that shows how effectively this pen can solve all the problems that they have.
It's like, I see what you have. would it be good if you didn't have that problem?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take all my problems.
This would remove it. Would you like to have that? Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And understanding that, again, go back to solving problems we talked about the last segment, but going back to understanding your ideal client is part of your system too, to be able to identify their goals and then their issues that they have, and then help, and knowing that clearly. So when you walk in a situation, you're just solving their problems the whole time by the services that you offer or the things that you can do for them. It when you have clarity around that, it helps. And then again, having the team and system in order to do that. And I think that the most valuable thing that comes from this conversation, if somebody's listening to this, is that if you want to work with somebody who has a system as a buyer or seller, that they can call you at W Group to have Erik help them buy and sell a house, and you're going to be able to display to them and show them, this is the system that we have that's going to solve these problems for you. I understand what you need. Let me help you do that.
Clear
Absolutely.
expectations through the consistency that y'all provide.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, and I think too, this is like my goal is to take what can be a stressful, long, confusing, a lot of negatives can be attached, right? I mean, moving, I think it was rated the number one thing people hate the most in their
It's
life
pretty
is having
terrible.
to move, like,
Yeah.
right? And then, all right, I already don't want to physically move. And there's a lot of money on the line. Like when people are purchasing property in general, especially like their first or second home, it is very often the most expensive purchase they've ever made. So you're talking like somebody bought a car for 12 grand and that was their big thing, and now we're doing 400,000 for 30 years. It can sound scary, right? And there, I think, again, going back to like why we need to get everybody on the same page and understand we're talking about people, is there's a lot on the line.
Yeah.
Like there totally is. There's a lot on the line. So tensions naturally run higher because there's more at play, right? There's more at risk. And so my big goal, and something I think I'm good at, I want to continue to get better at, and I'm constantly asking for help on how to do and watching other people, is take that process and truncate it, right? Like chunk it down and make it digestible, easy, simple, and fun.
Yeah.
And that's like a big thing. I tell people, I'm like, hey, look, it's not going to be stressful and it's not going to be horrible. It's actually going to be fun. That's my whole thing. I'm a fun guy. I like having fun. And there's no reason this can't be that too. That goes into, okay, look, when we first meet, I'm just going to walk you through everything that happens. And here are some expenses that are going to come up between right now, us writing this offer, and closing that you didn't know, right? Inspection costs, appraisal costs, deposit, right? And then expect, how does all that money go? And here's what you can expect here. And here's what you can expect here, right? Each step of the process, and then letting them know. And also, you don't have to do any of it. I'm going to handle all of it for you, right? Because they start hearing paperwork and do I have to take off work to go to the
Right.
inspection? Nope. I'm going to attend it for you. I'm going to schedule it for you, right? I'm going to share all your information with them so that they can send you an invoice. I'm going to review that for you. I'm going to review it with the inspector, and then we're going to review it together. We're going to decide on what we do. I'm going to write your inspection response for you. Okay, so you got it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to keep you in the loop. You tell me what you want to do. If you want my advice, I'll give it to you. But really, this is all up to you.
Yeah.
And making it fun. Like, I don't want anybody to be at the closing table and they're like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
we want big smiles. This is
we
because
don't
it's
allow
a big
it.
thing. It's a big deal, and it should be a big win.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes they'll sit people and they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, everybody's not happy today. I'm like, challenge, let's go. And they walk out and they laugh at us. They're like, how? Like, we heard people laughing. We're like, because we're about to have a good time.
Yes.
Nobody's raining on this parade.
It's about the experience, and it's about the closing experience. That's the big thing. Like most of the time, the communication and the closing experience are what people remember more than anything.
Right.
And so yeah, I think it's a big deal. And being transparent and giving clear expectations on the front end is how you communicate well to create that experience. If people are feeling nervous, they don't understand what's coming next and what's happening, that's whenever things can get haywire.
Yeah.
But creating clear expectations makes a huge difference. Look, dude, you did great. This was a great conversation, man.
Thanks. Y'all did great too.
It is very great. I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Everything is great.
Very great.
It's very great.
I'm excited people hear more about you, and we'll put everything in the show notes so people can get to know you a little better and find you on the internet. But appreciate you coming, buddy.
Yeah. Rock and roll. Thank y'all so much. It was awesome.